We flew from Sydney to Adelaide this morning, which is on the west coast of Australia in the south. And now we have rented a car and we are driving on the wrong side of the road, 2 hours south to Cape Jervis. And then we will put the car on a ferry, which we will take over to Kangaroo Island. And Kangaroo Island is where they have the animal sanctuary with the kangaroos and koalas, and you can have some up-close animal encounters. So that is coming up next.
The Sea-Link ferry runs between Cape Jervis and Kangaroo Island several times a day. Really comfortable ride, smooth sailing, comfortable seats, a cafe on board, and of course, bathrooms are available. After 45 minutes, we landed at Kangaroo Island and the vehicle port opened, after which we could drive our car right off the ferry and onto the island. As a side note, all the trees on Kangaroo Island look like they belong in a Dr. Seuss book. It's a beautiful drive from the port over to any part of the island where you're staying. We stayed in Kingscote, which is the most populous part of the island. And now for the reason we're here, adventure number 1, Kangaroo Island Wildlife Park. The whole reason we came to Kangaroo Island is to go to Kangaroo Island Wildlife Park, which is a wild animal sanctuary here on Kangaroo Island where they rescue and rehabilitate animals and allow you to interact with them in a way that you can't almost anywhere in the world. These two were super excited about Kangaroo Island, but not quite as excited as Amal, if we're being honest. We booked a private tour at the animal park, which gives you one single guide who goes around the park with you and also gives you access to all of the animal encounters. Okay, I admit it wasn't just Amal. We were all completely enamored with and obsessed with and in love with this koala, Alfie. So Alfie is 8 or 9 years old, weighs about 25 pounds, and loves to cuddle. We could have stayed here all day, to be honest. The park takes really good care of their koalas and limits the number of people that can hold each koala each day. Kids can actually hold koalas as well if they're tall enough. So our big girl was big enough to do it, but unfortunately the little one was not big enough to hold the koala bear. She did get to feed him though, and she took full advantage of that.
So specifically, all these dark green patches here are 54 blue gum plantations we have around the island. Out of all 54 blue gum plantations, all of 51 here and the very bottom of 43 survived, and the rest were burnt down. And then all of Flinders Chase area, the lighter green area, was all burnt down within 4 to 6 hours on the night of January 3rd.
So what percentage of the koalas were lost in the fire?
Were lost about 80%. So
80%.
We used to have between 50 to 60,000 here on the island, but it could have been as many as 80,000. And now we have anywhere between 5 to 10,000 left.
Wow.
So really did a number on our koalas and also obviously the western end of the island.
The private tour gives you access to areas of the park that are not available to the public, like the animal hospital, where we met this little brand new baby koala who had been injured in an accident, as well as this baby Joey whose mother was hit by a car, and this Joey was rescued actually from the mother kangaroo's pouch on the side of the road. This Joey is being hand-raised in the hospital until he's strong enough to join the other kangaroos. So another thing we got to do was bottle feed the baby Joey, which was such a remarkable experience. Since my little one didn't get to hold the koala, they gave her the opportunity to hold the baby Joey, which was a little more appropriate for her size, and boy did she love that.
And did you want to give her a hug?
Next, we went into the cage with the marmosets for the marmoset encounter. They give us these little bowls of food and the marmosets jump all over us. Also, marmosets are apparently really into their own reflection, so if you put a phone in front of them, they take selfies. And oh my god, I'm just gonna let you watch what we do next.
When we're feeding them, we'll grab the chick with the tongue.
It's like a dog.
Come grab it and eat it.
Just in case it wasn't clear, we are inside the enclosure feeding dead baby chicks to these big cats.
For the record, I abstained from this particular feeding activity. This totally grossed me out. Back to something more my speed. There's a large kangaroo habitat which you can walk around with the kangaroos. You can hand feed them. Oh my god, it's so cute. What? Can't say I've ever seen a baby joey jump into its mama's pouch before. There were lots of hand feeding opportunities around the park. Kangaroos, wallabies, quokkas, and the animals are gentle enough that even the children are easily able to feed them by hand.
It's feeding a little quokka. Guys. The quokka eating out of my hand. You're so cute.
After our half-day tour at Kangaroo Island Wildlife Park, we jumped back in the car and headed over to Seal Bay. Seal Bay Conservation Park is a protected area of coastline, which is the natural home to a large population of the endangered Australian sea lion. This is more of an observational encounter. This is the natural habitat of these thousands of sea lions and their seal pups. And as a visitor, you have the opportunity to walk with a guide down to the beach and get within about 10 meters of the sea lion colony. It's kind of a cool experience to watch them in their natural habitat. This was breeding season, so there were about 200 to 250 new sea lion pups on the beach. So the most fun part was just watching these little babies toddle around and interact with each other. On our way back to the hotel, we stopped at the only distillery on the island, Kangaroo Island Spirits. They make their own gin and have a selection of flavored liqueurs as well. You can grab a drink inside and then walk out to the patio. On a nice day, it's a really lovely place to sit and have a drink.